First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT Channel 22 News at 11.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Diane Daniels. The final game of the Notre Dame-Michigan rivalry now in the books. What a blowout. Even the most diehard Notre Dame fans never would have predicted a game like this, with Notre Dame dominating, leaving Michigan completely scoreless. WSBT Sports Director Pete Byrne live now outside of Notre Dame Stadium with the latest. Pete, this is one for the books, that's for sure.
Yeah, Diane, I think you said it perfectly. Not a surprise that Notre Dame wins this football game, which, by the way, just went final 31-0. But the big surprise is by how much they won this football game. They've dominated pretty much from the middle of the first quarter on, had a very comfortable lead at halftime. And in the final game that these two teams might ever play, certainly the final game that it appears they will play for a long time, Notre Dame walks off the field with a blowout victory. And these are going to be some pretty sweet bragging rights to carry along with them for a while. Now, we can't show you highlights of the game just yet because NBC has not signed off the network coverage, but just a few things that stood out to me. First of all, offensively, the emergence of a couple of wide receivers for Notre Dame. One, sophomore Will Fuller, who caught a touchdown, caught close to a dozen passes today, played brilliantly in the bright lights against what we thought was going to be a pretty formidable opponent in Michigan. And then senior Amir Carlisle, who moved from running back last year to the slot receiver position this year. He had a hard time catching the football last year. He was brilliant tonight. Several catches over the middle, in traffic, had the first 2 touchdowns of his college football career tonight. All of those integral parts of Notre Dame's dominant win tonight. The other thing is the Notre Dame defense. They looked decent last week against Rice and only giving up 17 points. I never would have imagined they would have been able to shut out Michigan like they did tonight. They pressured the quarterback. They forced him into mistakes. 4 turnovers in all tonight the Notre Dame defense forced. Hard to run against them. All in all, we've seen a very solid football team, Diane, and probably the thing that's impressed me most about Notre Dame through 2 games, they haven't made hardly any mistakes. They've committed just 4 penalties through 2 football games, which is amazing given the caliber of competition they've played, and they have yet to turn the football over. Those are 2 recipes that usually equal chalk and win in the win column, and they've done it tonight in impressive fashion. Again, Notre Dame victorious here at Notre Dame Stadium tonight, 31-0. The game has just gone final. Carl Deffenbaugh is going to have all the highlights for you coming up in a few minutes in sports, and I'll be back with more reaction from a Notre Dame win over their rivals, the Michigan Wolverines, that, as you mentioned, is going to be awfully sweet because who knows how long it'll be before they play again.
That's for sure. All right. Thank you, Pete. Sweet revenge for the chicken dance. That's for sure. Well, all the hype that has surrounded this game certainly whipped diehard fans for both teams into a frenzy today. WSBT's Zach Crenshaw talked with fans on the rivalry now coming to an end.
Notre Dame and Michigan played their first game in 1887, and since 1978, the 2 teams have squared off 30 times. Today, fans from Indiana and Michigan descended on South Bend to watch the last game in the foreseeable future and talk a little trash. They tailgated next to each other, Irish and Wolverine fans, and even got a little sentimental.
I like to come down here to South Bend and watch the games. I think we'll be really sad to see it end.
The long-standing rivalry impacting couples and old classmates.
I'm sad that I'm not going to get any more bad emails from him 2 days before the game. He predicted yesterday that it would be Michigan 145, Notre Dame 3.
Everywhere you turn, fans were seizing their last opportunity to hurl a few insults.
The last 8 years have been 6-2 Michigan. We've stolen a lot of games, and now it's just time to tap out. Is that what happened?
I live in Dowagiac. My neighbors, both sides of me, are Michigan fans, and we talk trash every time we play.
With Ann Arbor and South Bend less than 200 miles away, the rivalry has a more local feel.
And this rivalry, for the people who live around here, we get to talk smack to the people we work with, the people we live with. It's good stuff, man. Yeah, I'm upset. I'm upset.
Win or lose, I think both of us are going to be more devastated about the end of the rivalry than the end of the game today.
And today's game had even more significance for the 2 storied programs.
They're the 2 winningest programs in college football, percentage-wise. And whoever wins this game today will be number 1.
While today marked the last game of the series, many fans are hopeful they'll see their rival again.
Probably play again, even if it's in a bowl game in the years to come.
Yeah, anytime that we'll be playing each other, we'll be really happy.
I think it'll absolutely get put back on the schedule. I don't know how long it'll be, but it'll happen.
We'll play again. We'll play again. We'll play again.
Well, that fan convinced they'll play again. For Notre Dame fans tonight, the final victory means bragging rights to the storied rivalry, and the shutout will certainly add more insult to injury for the Michigan fans. Hey, but they still lead the series 24-17, and there's one tie. Reporting live in the studio, Zach Crenshaw, WSBT Channel 22 News.
Morning, a run to benefit the Kelly Cares Foundation stepped off from Eddy Street Commons in South Bend. The race finished there as well. The 5K and 10K benefits the organization founded by Coach Kelly and his wife following her breast cancer diagnosis. The foundation works to promote awareness of the disease, to support research, and to encourage prevention. And we are going to have much more coverage of this big game coming up. Pete and Carl Deffenbaugh both will be back with us a little later on in sports for in-depth coverage of the game. Plus, we got you covered on the web. Just head to WSBT.com.